The Middle Ages, 1,000 years from the 5th to the 15th century, are like a bridge between the ancient world and the world we live in today. Sometimes people call this time the Dark Ages, but it wasn't dark at all. Lots of changes happened, societies grew, and cultures blossomed. This time set the stage for the Renaissance that came after. Imagine Europe rising from the broken pieces of the Roman Empire. New kingdoms popped up, each with its own language, traditions, and dreams. Christianity spread, shaping art, books, and everyday life. We still see the impact of this time in our world today. This era saw powerful empires, terrible plagues, and amazing new inventions. From the birth of nations to beautiful art and buildings, the Middle Ages left a big mark on human history. Come with us as we explore this exciting time, looking at its good times and bad times, its new ideas, and the things that lasted. The Middle Ages were full of big historical events. The early Middle Ages saw the rise of the Byzantine Empire in the east and the Frankish Empire under Charlemagne in the west. These empires, though they didn't last long, changed things forever. The Vikings, tough warriors from Scandinavia, raided and traded across Europe, changing languages, cultures, and even maps. The High Middle Ages saw feudalism grow. This was a system where lords and vassals worked together. This time also saw the building of amazing Gothic cathedrals, huge and beautiful churches. The Crusades, religious wars, brought Europe into conflict with the Islamic world, which changed many things. The late Middle Ages were full of troubles and changes. The Black Death, a terrible sickness, spread across Europe, killing many people and changing how the economy worked. The 100 Years' War between England and France changed borders and led to new ways of fighting, but even with all the trouble, the Renaissance was starting. Scholars and artists rediscovered old knowledge and tried new things. Daily life in the Middle Ages was very different from ours. Society was like a ladder, with monarchs at the top, then nobles, clergy, and peasants. Most people worked on farms. Peasants worked hard in the fields, their lives controlled by the seasons and their lords. Towns and cities, though smaller than Roman cities, were busy centers of trade. Guilds, groups of craftsmen and merchants, made rules about making and selling things to make sure things were good quality. Religion was a big part of life. The church taught people about God, provided education, and helped people in need. Life was hard in the Middle Ages, with sickness, hunger, and war happening often. But even with these problems, people found happiness in their communities, their faith, and the simple things in life. Music, stories, and religious celebrations brought joy and comfort. The people of the Middle Ages, with their strength and cleverness, built the foundation for the world we live in today. Even though it happened a long time ago, the Middle Ages still fascinate us. The art, buildings, stories, and laws of this time have shaped Western civilization. Gothic cathedrals with their tall arches and colourful windows are still amazing. Medieval stories like Beowulf and the Canterbury Tales teach us about people in ways that are still true today. The legal systems of many countries like England and the United States come from medieval English common law. The Magna Carta, an important document from 1215, said that the government's power should be limited, an idea that is important to democracies today. The Middle Ages weren't a dark time in history, but an important step forward. By learning about this interesting and complicated time, we can better understand our own world, where it came from, its problems, and the strength of human beings. The Middle Ages show us that even when things are hard and uncertain, human creativity and toughness can make a better future.